Hello, this is Mr. K again. Open up a new part in Inventor so that we may begin. Okay, starting off with the hole practice. We're going to start a new sketch, and I'm going to do this on the XZ plane so that I'm looking down on top of it. And I'm going to twist it so that the word top is right side up. And I'm going to start with a circle. This one shouldn't be too tough. We're going to start this whole circle, and it's the entire diameter of the big circle, and that's 4 inches. I'm going to finish my sketch, and I'm going to extrude it, and it extrudes 1.5 inches in depth. So now I have my hockey puck, and we're going to need to go through and we're going to put the 5 different holes in this surface. Before we do that, we need to label where those points are going to be. So I'm going to start a new sketch, put it on this surface. Again, I'm going to twist it over so the top is facing the right direction. And I'm going to put a point, and I'm going to put that point not at the center here, but a random measurement going straight up and down. So my X will be 0 and the Y will be something random. And then I'm going to dimension it. Dimension from there to the center of the circle. And that's going to be my radius for the inside, the smaller circle. It says the diameter is 2.5, so half of that would be 1.25. 2.5 is the diameter, divided by 2 is 1.25. And now I'm going to do a circular pattern with this point. Circular pattern. I'm going to choose my geometry. My geometry is going to be just that point. Now I'm going to choose my axis, and it's going to be this center dot. And you see the red and black arrows? That changes the direction of the rotation. That's all that's doing. I don't want it to have 6 points. I only need 5 points. I'm going to say OK. So there's my 5 points around that circle. Finish my sketch. Let me tip it back up so I can actually see what I'm doing. And now, instead of making my holes off of those, because as soon as I make a hole, it's going to consume those dots. And I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert some points from these work features. And I'm going to use point. And what that's going to do is allow me to choose a point. And I'm going to do that for each one. I'm going to put a point there. I've got to go back and choose point again for each one of these so that I have all 5 points marked out. And that way when I do my first circle, my first hole, it's going to consume the rest of those points, the rest of that sketch, and I don't want to lose those spots. All right, so now on to my first hole. My first hole, I don't want it to be from sketch. I want it to be on point. So I'm going to choose this first point here. And then I want to choose the direction. The direction is going to be the circle. And what that does, if I tip this up just a little bit, you can see that it makes the circle go through the depth of the shape. So, and the first one says that it's 0.25 in diameter, and it goes all the way through. If you look at the hidden line, it goes all the way through. So I'm not going to say distance, I'm going to say through all. And then I'm going to hit apply. I'm not going to hit OK, I'm going to hit apply. Because now I'm going to go to the second point, and the direction is going to be the outside ring here. And this time, I'm looking for the type of hole that has a shoulder on it. And so I come over here, and that's going to be called a counterbore. And if I choose here and let my mouse sit on top of it, it says Counterbore. So that's the kind of hole that it's going to be. And it says that the diameter of the hole, there's two different diameters. One is the small diameter, which is going to be the inside one here. That's going to be 0.375. And then we have the large diameter, which is going to be 0.75. And then how far down does that shoulder go? And it's 0.25, and so that's the default, so that's fine. The hole goes all the way through, so I'm going to say apply. The next one is a countersunk. So it's going to be countersunk. It's got the V shape in the instructions. So I'm going to go countersink. I want my small diameter to 0.375, and this is why you hit apply and not OK, because it remembers. So 0.375. The degrees are 82 degrees. That's the default. The large diameter is 0.75. So everything's correct. Now all I have to do is choose my point. I want it to be that one. I need to choose my direction. It's going to be that one. Goes all the way through. I'm going to hit apply. This next one is going to be threaded, which means it's going to be tapped. I've got to come back up here and choose just a regular drilled hole. I'm going to come down to the bottom down here, and I want the one that says tapped hole. It's got threads on it. So I'm going to choose tapped. It takes a second for this to come up the first time. It's a lot of information that it's trying to pull into the next little window that it opens up. So the size of this is going to be 1/4 20 UNC. Now I could change that here. If I change this, and 1/4 is 0.25. And that changes over here. I could have chosen this and it'll change it over here. 1/4 20 UNC. It says that it's 1B. So I need my class to be 1B. And the depth is 0.75. That means the thread is not going full depth. The hole goes all the way through. Doesn't go all the way through. The hole goes a distance, and that's 0.75 down. And so the thread goes the full depth. I'm going to choose my point, and I choose my direction. And if we tilt it up just a little bit, you can see that it doesn't go all the way through. And that's what our instructions tell us. If you look at the hidden lines, it shows that it doesn't go all the way through. I'm going to hit OK. The reason I'm hitting OK on this one is that on this last one, you're going to do something, whatever makes you happy. It can't be anything like the ones that you've already done. You have to choose your own thing for this hole, and you're going to make your own thing up. Remember, it needs to be done from point. You're going to choose your point. You're going to choose your direction, and you're going to choose whatever it is that you you're going to go from point. You're going to choose the direction, and you're going to do whatever it is that you want to do for this hole, whatever makes you happy. So you need to choose what it is that you're doing. Just something. And there you go. To get rid of the sketch on here, I'm going to come over here to this sketch and change the visibility. And there I've got all my different holes. There it is. Make sure you save it in the right spot.